And here we have it, that Sylveon heading into the central area, becoming Sylveon very quickly, I should say. Right now, it's just an adorable Eevee, but in a moment here, it's going to be screaming in everyone's faces. It's going to be extremely difficult to deal with. And you know, another Pokemon that's a real star of this entire tournament, Blastoise, is just all over this tournament, Jeff.
You can tell here that Full Send was taking notes on Nemesis. They knew that this Mr. Mime in the bottom path was going to be coming to poke at their Audinos and try and be sneaky, and Celestial on that Blastoise having none of it.
I gotta tell you, I'm a massive fan of this Mime play, and if we see this guard swap used effectively in a final fight, you will see what I mean. The healing is off the charts, but until we get some of that healing, we've got Sylveon coming up here taking them down, and we've got Aegislash now, this Duo Blade, ready to cut Sylveon to pieces. Can it get it before it gets the Greedent? It can.
That focus ban on Sylveon, almost getting it out of that sticky situation. We see here the same plan executed from Nemesis that we saw in another game. They are overloading this top path with 4 characters while Mime remains in the bottom to try and obtain some last hits with its powerful smites.
And this is a really interesting strategy. I feel like we're seeing this more and more, and a lot of it, of course, is because of that hyperspace hole Hoopa, but we're seeing more opportunities for teams to head to the top path early, Jeff.
Yes, but the dynamic of how the format has shaped up is really interesting because initially we put 3 characters into the bottom path because that objective was the most important, but that led to the carry Pokemon from the central area going to the top, which then created this dynamic of, well, if we can make their top path get behind, their carry Pokemon will end up underleveled.
That's right. Just like a Pokemon, it's evolving. The strategy here in Unite, and here comes this big sword. Is it able to take anyone down? It doesn't look like it, but the wide guard sending it back through the hyperspace hole, and here it comes again to cut them to pieces. Mr. Mime with the big KO there.
Something really powerful out of the kit for the Aegislash. You see those white lines, underneath Aegislash's health bar. Those are the boosted attack count on Aegislash. Unlike other characters, you don't just build them up and get one boost. Aegislash's skills stack multiple boosteds at a time, allowing you to cut through for incredible either bursts of damage in that sword mode or an incredible amount of sustain from healing when you are in shield mode.
And one really interesting thing about it is it does damage based on max HP in those boosted attacks. That's why you see it used so effectively against these really tanky Pokemon. Greedent, Blissey, Blastoise. The sword cuts through them like a hot knife through, well, a Blastoise.
Even Sylveon, while an attacker role, is probably one of the more durable attackers in the game, making those hits better. And we see the last hit for this going over to the right side team here, Full Send, full flip on that objective.
Yeah, and Full Send has been flipping it pretty hard today, and what that is just putting a lot of sustained damage and burst damage down on some of these objectives, trying to take them from the enemy team. It's a strategy that has proven very successful, especially if you know how to secure. They've got that power-up punch Lucario, so they are ready to take these objectives.
Yeah, not only do they have the big hit from something like Lucario to give that final burst, but Sylveon with this Hyper Voice is also quite good at securing last hits because it does a lot of little ticks of damage that can be difficult to get in between.
Look at this. Mr. Mime actually doing some work down here in the bottom path. Forgotten Pokemon sometimes, Mr. Mime, but it looks like Nemesis is trying to bring it back. Nemesis would be the team to do it here. Aegislash, just kind of taking off here. Got a few boosted attacks. Got hurt a little bit. Knows it can't take this Blissey out. So maybe right now it's coming back in.
Yeah, if there was any team that I was going to pick out of North America to innovate as far as rotations are concerned and where characters are at any given point, especially in the early game, I think Nemesis is definitely the one to keep an eye on. Huge Blastoise Unite here.
Yeah, both Blastoise, dueling Blastoise unites, if you will, and we've got a lot of KOs trying to be secured by both teams. Full Send 3 going down, 1 going down here for Nemesis. Mr. Mime trying to get out of there now, but it does not look like that's going to be possible.
Fantastic timing on that hyperspace hole portal from Full Send Hoopa, sending their teammates back to the base to recover their health bar to full before they come back on in. The second Dreadnought is going to be spawning here in the bottom path momentarily. If we take a look at the top path, there's that sad first Rotom that nobody wants to look at.
Yeah, I mean, we already have a second Dreadnought. I didn't even realize. No one's even touched it, Jeff. Oh, how disappointing.
If there's one thing players at home can take away from watching these fantastic players play Pokemon Unite is watch how little they care about these Rotoms and watch how important these Dreadnoughts are for them to take their leads and accelerate them over the opposing team.
Big moment there from Full Send taking that Dreadnought, picking up a couple of KOs, and then of course we had Jeff Hoagland here trying to make our solo queue experience a little bit better. Please watch the top pros. You gotta go for Dreadnought.
Yes, the Rotom is useful in some situations for providing, we'll see it provide map pressure as it marches towards the opponent's goals. However, it doesn't provide anything bigger than that. The points that Rotom can provide in the early and mid game can often be made up after that 2-minute mark when double scoring is enabled. As we see here, it's simply going to sit here on this goal point and keep Hoopa and Mr. Mime occupied for a few moments.
Wow, Full Send really taking all of these objectives here. They've been all over every single one of them. Even this lonely Rotom they're able to secure here. So Full Send doing a great job of taking these objectives down, chunking them very fast, getting rid of that health, and then getting the secure. And it's an art, Jeff.
Most noteworthy here from the Nemesis side of things, though, is that even though Full Send is up 2 Dreadnoughts 2-0, Nemesis is doing a pretty reasonable job of maintaining experience here. A touch behind, but not a lot as they tick their first 12, while Full Send only has 2 level 12 characters at their disposal at the moment.
Taking a look at our map here, you can see you don't see too many yellow dots right now. These professional players are extremely good at getting every little bit of experience they need, just as Jeff mentioned here. They are taking this moment when there's no objective to either make their way towards a score or make their way towards some experience so they can be more powerful for some of these big fights. We've got the final Dreadnought of the match spawning here in just a moment, and I'm not sure anyone's in a great position to take this right now, but Full Send actually has a lot of their team moving down now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Nemesis wants to take this fight here. It is noteworthy that Blissey is not present, so if Full Send wants to come in, they will be 5-4 as Full Send takes yet another objective secure here.
Amazing hyperspace hole, getting their whole team out of there, but at the same time, wow, Full Send is just on top of these objectives. And as Nemesis, I would be a little scared right now, Jeff, because there's kind of a big objective coming up. And if Full Send's able to take it down that quickly, Nemesis is in a lot of trouble. Zapdos up here in just 15 seconds.
Aegislash ticking over that ever-important level 13, and Blastoise as well for Nemesis. This is where they get their second upgraded skill, which is a pretty significant increase to their impact inside of these fights. Actually, only 1 level 13 for Full Send currently, but more level 12s at their disposal. Full flip here from Full Send.
Here we go, the damage is on it, but it looks like it is secured by Nemesis this time. Full Send not able to take this Zapdos. Nemesis was ready for it, and that was just so much damage all at once. We do have some counter scoring happening. It looks like we're gonna be able to get some points in here from Hoopa. Not a full hundo burger, but pretty close, an 80 slider, if you will. And now we have Artreo scoring here. It looks like in the bottom path for Nemesis. Nemesis up, but not by a lot.
This is a big deal. Full Send was able to KO Blastoise on this second goal zone before it was able to score. There is a less than 100-point differential between these two teams, and more importantly, Nemesis's outside top goal is still available, which is, again, just to highlight how bad Rotom is. If Rotom had gone in here, it would have actually made winning this game harder for Full Send, as they dunk only 42, though. Oh, I was expecting a full 100 to go in there, Spriggles.
Yeah, I was as well. We didn't get a hundo burger. We got another slider, a 42-point dunk right there, and that is not good for Full Send. I don't know what the situation was on their team, but I think they almost had an opportunity to get that 50 in through Sylveon. Now we have 40 seconds left. Do we have a Hoopa Unite here? Is this a full-on sneaky Hoopa? What is the plan here? Because Nemesis is ahead, and Full Send needs to score something. They have to put some points in.
Yeah, and they have to try and win a fight before doing so. And these inside points have so much more healing and shields that it's more difficult to take an engagement on them and win, as we see Nemesis melting Full Send as they run in here. Yeah, I think it was a big mistake on Full Send's part to not take a full push on that outside goal zone and get a guaranteed 100 in there, Spriggles.
Wow, Nemesis gonna lock this one up. Full Send not able to score. Incredible defense from Full Send after losing that Zapdos fight, but Nemesis also did an amazing job defending, and then we didn't have a full 100 in that top goal, giving Nemesis the win here. 299 to 272. Here we go. Game number 2. If Nemesis closes this out, they get the rematch that they've been wanting, back to the grand finals, back against Game and Gladiators. And it looks like that was an easy secure there from Full Send in the bottom path.
You see Blastoise going to the top path for Nemesis. Perhaps a connection issue for our Greedent here in the back, stuck in base.
Oh, yeah, we have our Greedent not moving here. It looks like they are waiting right now, seeing if we can possibly stall enough time to get their Greedent player reconnected to this match. You know, it's definitely not impossible for the teams to come back and win in a moment like this. I have seen it in tournaments, and Pokemon Unite has a lot of mechanics that you can use to catch up, but this is definitely going to be a tough start for Nemesis.
Yeah, almost assuredly here, as we see 3 Pokemon in the top path as these bees are getting ready to spawn, and only just an Aegislash coming in, trying to get a last hit, but ultimately not wanting to go too deep and get itself knocked out here.
I'm seeing that Greedent back up and moving, heading into this central area, so it might be a little hiccup early, but boy, if they can pull off a victory after that, that would be really impressive, Jeff. Like I said, there's a lot of Pokemon Unite left to play here.
We see them moving over, hoping to get their first attack weight stack here. Will they be knocked out beforehand? And they will. Really unfortunate here. Yeet Fan also not able to deposit any Aeos energy yet on that stacking Blastoise build, ending up behind because of their items now as well.
Yeah, but let's face it, you can start behind in a lot of ways here in Pokemon Unite, and I think they can still pull this out. They're an incredibly impressive team. Of course, a little disappointing, but here we go. That Mr. Mime doing some work down there in the bottom path.
Yeah, big not only push from the confusion, but also damage from it as well. Really excellent at securing those last hits, as Yeet Fan gets a little bit beat up by 2 level 6 Pokemon here on its outside point.
This is a tough fight. It's still a Squirtle. It's mighty, but it's small, and we actually have, there we go. We've got Greedent coming out here for a trio. Let's do this thing, grabbing these berries. Hey, there's that mean Greedent we all know and love.
Greedent with that hindrance resistance on the Covet, not only increasing its speed and being disruptive, but allowing it to go ahead and run through that speed zone and take those berries out of the way, as we see the second bee spawn here, and soon the first objective as well.
Yeah, we've got Rotom coming up top, Dreadnought in the bottom path here, and it looks like everyone's heading down for the Dreadnought party. Let's see what we can do here. We've got Mr. Mime with Guard Swap and Confusion. Guard Swap will give that consistent damage, but Confusion is a massive securing tool for Nemesis.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen Full Send full rip this objective yet. They're kind of walking around. Their Blastoise does have Unite move, which is kind of a reason to wait a little bit to try and pull the opposing team in. But I assume we're going to see Blastoise Unite just to secure here. Nope, does not even need it. Left side team easily taking the objective, largely uncontested, as Atreyu on Greedent and War Turtle in the top path getting value elsewhere.
We can see, yeah, that Greedent in the enemy central area. Yeet Fan stacking up that item right here, just getting more and more powerful. They're behind to start, but they're trying to make themselves stronger and stronger as this match goes on.
We see Atreyu here with double buffs under their character, successfully getting both of those Pokemon from the central area of Full Send, trying to make up the differential they lost of not having that Dreadnought be contested.
And here we have this Rotom just being shredded by Full Send, sending it towards Nemesis right here. And I'm not sure. Ooh, Jeff, that is a perfect score. That's just exactly what you want right there. 21, Rotom scores 20, and then they get an easy, massive dunk there for Lucario.
You see these two walking up, trying to get some dunks in here, maybe a little bit ambitious. Can Rapid Spin successfully get Celestial out here? Lucario does use a Unite move as a means to escape.
And yeah, looks like they're going to make it out of there. Maybe a little bold, but hey, if they put the points in, that's big for Full Send. Right now, they are way up right here, scoring some more, 189 to 39. So they're already putting themselves in a really nice position for later in this match.
We should get a Dreadnought timer here momentarily as the next big focal point for the fights. This will be that fight around the 4-minute and 30-second mark where you can expect to see every Unite move that is available kind of utilized as that big opportunity to get those powerful attacks in before, so you can still get them back for that Zapdos engagement at 2 minutes.
Nemesis has something to prove right here, Jeff. It's time for them to turn this thing back on and win this fight. We've got the Hoopa Unites coming out. We've got the Guard Swap Mime turning on their Unite. Greedent coming in with the Unite. And we've got the damage coming out on this Dreadnought right here, secured by Nemesis. Here we go. 2 going down, maybe 3. Yes, 3 Pokemon going down here for Full Send. There you go. Nemesis right back in this game.
Yeah, really makes me wonder. If you notice, the Sylveon for Full Send was depositing Aeos energy in that top goal on Nemesis' side during that engagement. Perhaps a bit of a mistake not being a part of it there. Huge knockout from Bulby just before Hoopa can escape into its hyperspace hole.
One of the saddest moments if you can't get back, but you know, actually being punished for it themselves. This fight is still going on. It's a slugfest down here as this sword takes another one. No, Blastoise actually gets the secure right there. Aegislash cutting him up and Blastoise spinning him down. I don't know if anyone's ever said that before.
Just again, seeing that really powerful, Unite move. Speaking of really powerful, stopping what would have been a 49-point overcap and knocking out that Aegislash to get some catch-up experience from the higher level Pokemon.
Now, you know, something really interesting here, Jeff, is we've had these outside goals up for some of these matches here, and it's actually really benefited the team that has left them up. You know, they've had some big scores they've been able to make near in these end game moments, but Full Send deciding not to do that. They know they're ahead on score, and they want to keep the pressure on as this Rotom is sent towards Full Send by Nemesis.
Okay, objectives going very different this game compared to the first one, and look at this. Full Send being like, you know, this top goal, it lost us. Or
yeah,
the sides flip, that'll lose you games. Letting that Rotom walk in, deleting it when it's only at 7 for a little baby overcap is exactly what they want.
It's pretty perfect right here. What a sneaky Blissey throwing eggs from the bush, but this goal does go down, so it looks like Nemesis did want to get rid of it here. Full Send did not want to let it go. They did let that top goal go, though. They let it go to that Rotom.
You see Trainer LGC here looking for a knockout on the Sylveon. Sylveon is quite quick, though, but the 2 of these characters probably enough to box it in and get another knockout. There's this next Dreadnought coming, largely uncontested by Nemesis here.
I would say completely uncontested. They left it, and they are setting up for a fight here in the central area. They're getting ready here. They're hiding in the bushes right now. Mr. Mime trying to get its level 13. It actually has achieved that level 13 here. Big for its guard swap. It's going to give increased movement speed, and it's going to give healing to whatever Pokemon it tethers on here. And I would not be surprised if it tries to tether onto a Pokemon like Blastoise or Aegislash, trying to take down this Hoopa right here. They're focusing it down, and it does go down, but is anyone on that Zapdos yet?
Not yet, and Full Send has a large point lead here, even if they are currently down people in this endgame fight. And Nemesis cutting through, looking for a second KO, but not quite finding it. Rex getting dangerously low as Atreyu goes down for Nemesis.
Right now, people are resetting. Everyone is trying to get into a good position for this fight. This sword's in a lot of trouble right here, and it cannot get out. Lucario getting that KO right there. 3 down for Nemesis, and now Full Send has a question in front of them. Do they try to take this Zapdos right now, knowing that Nemesis could take it?
We see a flip type situation here, and the Lucario with the power-up punch getting it for Full Send here. I think that was a good chance there. They were ahead in terms of numbers there. They had the Lucario they could depend on to secure the objective. They were already in the lead. I like this push. It looks like we're going to be going to a game 3 here between Full Send and Nemesis.
It absolutely looks like that here, Jeff. I mean, a great call there by Full Send. They know how to take this objective. They had the Pokemon advantage there. You also even saw that sneaky play as Lucario acted like it was heading to score. Mr. Mime chasing it. It got to punch it through those bushes. That big close combat in the bushes that Mr. Mime did not see coming.
Yeah, this is a pretty insurmountable advantage at this point. We would need 500 points approximately for Nemesis to tie things up. They don't have 500 points between them, much less have time to push in on one of these outside goal points here.
They're giving it a shot here, but once again, Blissey hiding in the shadows, throwing eggs at Team Nemesis right here, and it seems to be working out pretty well. Greedent going down, just could not get through the defenses of Full Send right there. And you're right, Jeff, we're heading to a game 3, a game that will decide who's heading to the grand finals.
Yeah, if you're Nemesis, that's definitely not the way you want that game to end. But honestly, valiant attempt from them, despite the fact that one of their players was disconnected at the start of the game for over 60 seconds.
But here we go, game 3. The winner of this heads to the grand finals once again to face off against Game and Gladiators.
Once more, we also see a 2-1-2 being executed here for Nemesis, both Greedent and Squirtle going into this top path to contest Lucario, while leaning on Rex with that Mr. Mime to have better securing potential in the bottom path, despite being outnumbered 2-3.
Lucario up here just getting its attack weight stacks in. Greedent getting its attack weight stacks in. Everyone trying to get more powerful, but Sylveon is here. You are not getting that last hit. Hyper Voice stealing it away.
Yeah, showing the strength of this early rotation from the Sylveon, coming up with that level 4 power spike here. We see Squirtle from Full Send now running into that central area to clean up that second buff and the crabs. We see again Nemesis rotating their 4th player up to the top to be 4-2 for this first Bees engagement. Full Send rotating someone as well so they can be 4-4 in the top path. What a crazy set of rotations this format has developed into.
We got a massive fight up here, and it looks like Yeet Fan does go down. That little baby Squirtle not able to withstand the hyper voice there from Sylveon, and Full Send seems to get the better of this engagement.
Yeah, definitely. The fact that Nemesis' central area character in this instance is a melee character is a pretty big detriment in this early engagement, where it doesn't quite have the survivability it'll have in the mid to late game.
My goodness, this Sylveon just putting work in, scoring right in front of this Mr. Mime. You know, you have to be worried. Is it going to scream at me or is it going to score in my face? I don't know what to do to deal with it here. Very, very close to getting our Greedent for our trio, but not able to get it. And because of that, Lucario getting the big KO here.
We see trying to contest the last hit on this monkey here, but Bulby able to get the better of it there with Lucario's auto attacks, denying that War Turtle valuable experience. It needs to try and hit that level 7 to get its rapid spin to be most effective inside of engagements.
Boy, it really looks like Full Send is in control of this match right now. They're denying a lot of experience here from Nemesis. Mr. Mime made itself all the way up to this top path. Boy, I didn't expect to see you here, Mr. Mime.
Yeah, I think part of this is Nemesis has 2 of these characters that are trying to get their stacking items enabled. Yeet Fan with the special attack specs and Greedent with the attack weight, and trying to send another character to help push that, unfortunately not being particularly successful for them.
Ooh, so close to KOing this Blissey, but Blissey is just so incredibly powerful. And then here comes this War Turtle spinning and spraying. Will it be able to take down this Aegislash? One more hit, and it does go down to a basic attack there.
Just really awkward timing there for Nemesis, unfortunately. The portal closing up just before the Aegislash could hop inside of it. And then Full Send doing what they do best, and just choosing to rip this objective with a small advantage. And they take that advantage and push it through for that successful last hit in this instance.
And Greedent going down. Mime is down. I mean, Full Send is sending it right now. Stomping all over Nemesis. It feels like Nemesis is on their back foot all over the map right here. They need to get some experience. They need to get back into this game right now. Not only for this match, but because this is the last match either of these teams might play.
Yeah, we are in game 3 of this best of 3 series in the losers finals. The winner of this game will get to go on to play for $10,000 in the grand finals, while the loser will be going home to wonder what they could have done better in today's matches.
And we have this Rotom going down. Full Send just taking it right here. Let's see what kind of goal it's walking into. A goal with 68 on it, so we can get a nice score here too, and not break it if they decide to keep these goals open.
Yeah, we see a few people considering rotating up from Nemesis, perhaps looking to push back up here and get some dunks of their own. Again, we see both Greedent and War Turtle coming up here, the 2 characters that would really like to get some dunks in to enable their items, but that hyperspace hole from Full Send Chupa sending up the squad to prevent those dunks from happening.
Once again, that screaming Sylveon pushing up and doing some damage, knocking them off here. And Sylveon, you know, I'm watching this Sylveon and it's being played kind of like a Greedent, Jeff. It's just mean. It's all over the map. It's securing. It's scoring. It's really impressive to see. And it's one of the big surprise moments for me in this entire tournament.
Yeah, the Calm Mind from Sylveon, allowing it to be very mobile very frequently, is quite good, as we see Hoopa go down and Mime come up, stopping this. A huge knockout here, if we can get it. That Unite move from Sylveon, look at that health bar just go in the direction you do not want to see if you are Nemesis.
Sylveon also has this really unfortunate Unite move for Nemesis, which is it's able to recover so much health when it uses it. So even if you use everything against it, you chunk it down, you get it so close to being KO'd, it can kind of cancel all of that in just a moment. We saw that right there.
We see Hoopa uniting down this Sylveon after it gets this 40-point score in down to this objective. We see some Unite moves popping off with Full Send securing it thanks to that Blastoise's incredible Hydro Typhoon there.
Full Send is in full control right now, Jeff. 245 points to 42, securing every single objective. It feels like Nemesis is running from them. They don't know how to deal with this team right now. I'm watching a Greedent run away from a Blissey. I mean, this is not looking good for Nemesis right here. They need to pull out some big moments.
More importantly than the point differential, the level differential is incredibly in Full Send's favor thanks to these objectives. Can Nemesis make a push here and get some catch-up experience? Lucario goes down, Blissey goes down. Some levels are being acquired back here as they get a big dunk as well.
Big dunk, not a big overcap. I'm sure they would have liked to have done that differently, but it was the heat of the moment. You've got to score something here. They want to break this goal so they can send this Rotom down, which I believe is more important. There is a lot of experience up on the map, and it's time to eat those yellow dots.
Top level 4 Nemesis here, still only level 11, while Full Send's Blastoise is about to tick over to 13 here. We have 90 seconds to see, can Nemesis close the current experience gap that we have in these two teams before the final objective comes up?
Boy, level 13 Blastoise, that's a scary one, Jeff, to see here on the side of Full Send. But Nemesis is getting close to it. Hopefully their Blastoise can make it there for their sake, but I'm sure Nemesis wants, Full Send wants to shut that down. They want to make it to this Zapdos fight as the real tough Blastoise.
Looks like we will have time on this Dreadnought. That will be the third one of the game in the bottom path. We'll be interested to see which people choose to contest this. This could realistically be an objective that Nemesis chooses to simply give up, knowing that they're a little bit under-leveled and looking to get value elsewhere on the map instead.
It's a really tough objective, too. This can often turn into the final fight of the match, and I know a lot of teams, especially Nemesis, wouldn't want that to be the case. They're under-leveled right here. They're underrepresented at this fight, and they are just going to let Full Send take it here.
Yeah, that does not surprise me. You don't want to spend all of your powerful attacks trying to win a fight there when there's going to be another, even more important fight surrounding the Zapdos here in just 15 seconds.
Speaking, yeah, more important fight. Here comes this Zapdos, and here comes this final fight. We are about 2 minutes away from knowing which team is heading to our grand finals. Once again, both of these teams hungry for that victory. They have not been able to secure a first place, but they have been so close to it, and I think we are seeing Mr. Mime possibly go down here, and it looks like Nemesis is running back. Mime actually able to make it out right here, porting into this fight, and I think Nemesis might be looking for a flip. No, they are not. Just looking to reposition here for this fight.
You see Unite moves popping off for Full Send at this point. Perhaps Nemesis looking to get in here as the Lucario goes down. We see a huge Blastoise Unite from Nemesis.
Absolutely. 2 members down from each team. 3 members down here for Full Send. Can they start to clean this up? No. A double KO here from Blastoise. Double KO from both Blastoise. And the sword from Full Send goes down here. This is looking pretty good for Nemesis. But this Sylveon, wow, so close. That Sylveon could have turned around there in just a moment, but not able to do it. And right now, Nemesis must be feeling pretty good. And we are putting some damage on this yellow bird.
Well, here's the problem, though. We're basically going into a full flip due to the timer eventually running down. This refight is happening. Atreyu goes down. All of Full Send has basically respawned at this point, and they are incredibly favored to get the last hit on this ever-important final objective. As we see Full Send not ripping at all, instead choosing to push these people out of the central area.
And here comes exactly what you were saying, Jeff. They did not need to rip this Zapdos down. They win a decisive fight, and they were winning throughout this match here. They've got their stomping boots on without Zarina, and they are putting the points in. Full Send is going to be heading into our grand finals.
An almost 550 point differential. We see Bloodline starting to dance there. They know they can dance if they wanna. They can leave this game behind because they are going on to our grand finals.
But sadly enough, I was going to say, if your friends don't dance, but it does look like we have some dancing here from trainer LGC. Nemesis not making it back to the grand finals, but Full Send, this is their opportunity going back up against Game & Gladiators. Can they win these two series and become your Aeos Cup champions? We're going to find out very, very soon, Jeff. What a match.
I'm actually really excited to see Full Send play against Game & Gladiators.